Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, will Duane resign as F&M senator? Just how much credibility has the government lost over Baha Mar? Canadians still enjoy traveling to the Bahamas, and a local filmmaker set to debut a movie about this life. Welcome to our news. I'm Kyron Joaquin. Thanks for joining us on this Emancipation Day holiday. Topping news tonight, now that the smoke has cleared and the dust has settled in terms of the Free National Movement's leadership race, there are a few questions that must be answered, one of which is whether Dr. Duane will stay on as one of the party's senators. This after he was quoted weeks ago in a local daily saying that if Minnis were to be re-elected leader, then he would step down as senator. Well, that question was put to him this past Friday. Take a listen to his response.
I would say again that so-called quote is not actually what I said.
You said that you would offer your resignation.
Right. So I believe in process. I believe that it is what is good for the people of the Bahamas that ought to drive what it is that we do while respecting the organization and the institution.
Former Cabinet Minister Tennyson Wells has already come out saying offering his resignation would be the honorable thing for Sands to do. Wells even went a bit further, saying that the F&M Central Council should revoke Sands' nomination. However, Minnis has since extended the olive branch, offering support for Butler Turner as the candidate in Long Island and Sands as part of the leadership team. But during a press conference to explain their abrupt departure from the party's leadership race, Sands said he has some more thinking to do, but whatever he does will be in the best interest of the party.
So I think at this point we have a peculiar and unusual circumstance. I will have to think about it. I will reflect on it. I will pray on it. I will discuss it. And my goal is to do what is right, what is honorable, and what would bring good, not only to the people of the Bahamas, but to this great organization, the Free National Movement.
Sands was the only member of the party's parliamentary team to go on stage with Butler Turner when she called for her colleagues to join her toward the end of her speech Thursday night. The Long Island MP was asked whether she felt slighted.
No, I'll tell you what was going on. You can see that there was a whole movement at the back of the room that was going against what we were all trying to accomplish, and that was unity. There was utter confusion in that place last night. That's a whole part of why we've had to stop this process. We can't move forward in a confused state. I didn't give them a heads up that I would invite them up, but I felt that it was the right thing to do at that time, given the fact that we had all of this animosity brewing at the back of the room. You know, the night before, we had the leader call me up on stage to dance and prance. And then the next night, we had a group of goons screaming at me while I'm trying to give my speech. Did that demonstrate the unity that we're trying to accomplish?
Well, Free National Movement Deputy Leader Peter Turnquist says Prime Minister Perry Christie and his administration have lost credibility over the government's handling of the $3.5 billion Baha Mar mega resort. Simone Davis has the details.
Report by international ratings agency Moody's, which placed the Bahamas' ratings on review for downgrade for several reasons, including the indefinite delay of the opening of Baha Mar. F&M Deputy Leader Peter Turnquist says a possible downgrade reflects poorly on the Christie administration. Turnquist added that Prime Minister Perry Christie should face the fact that his government has lost its credibility in its failure to deliver on promises as it relates to Baha Mar.
The truth of the matter is that the Prime Minister, by his utterances and failure to deliver, has lost credibility in this. And so for those of us who take a more skeptical view, he's going to have to show us.
The opposition deputy leader said the country could have been further ahead had the government handled the Baha Mar debacle better than it did.
It's unfortunate where we are. There are at least 2,000 people that are out of work as a result of the incompetent bungling of this thing, and even the willingness to take a back seat, swallow some pride, and allow the developer to try and complete it. The arrogance of all of that has just been to the detriment of the Bahamian people.
While expressing doubt that Baha Mar would open in the near future, Turnquist noted that too much emphasis has been placed on the resort for the wrong reasons.
You know, we're facing a critical review by one of the rating agencies. The other one's coming in town, I think, in the next week. And we're in this position because we've put so much emphasis on this Baha Mar project as the savior of the Bahamian economy. That's unfortunate. I believe that it is time now for the government of the Bahamas to recognize that we have a serious challenge here. This may not open in the short term, and as a result of that, while keeping an eye on that and continuing to keep the pressure on, that we ought to be focusing on other projects, other streams of development that may bring more immediate relief to Bahamian people.
Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
Thanks, Simone. Well, it turns out Canadians are still in love with the Bahamas. With air arrivals up from last year, Ministry of Tourism Deputy Director Tommy Thompson said a big chunk of visitors is our friends from the north of the U.S.
Canadians are interested, however, the dollar is taking a bit of a battering, so we've actually seen some decrease, and we have a huge program with Sunwing into Grand Bahama.
This year, the Ministry of Tourism will enter into a contract with Expedia, the giant of online travel booking, in an arrangement where it will match the ministry's advertising dollars. Expedia has also been shown to be quite popular among Canadians, many of whom venture down here to warmer climates during the winter. According to Thompson, most of the Canadian visitors come from the city.
The number one market for us out of Canada is Ontario. Still huge for us, but they're going to have 8 flights coming out of Canada into Grand Bahama this winter. And in addition to that, we have flights into Nassau from WestJet, Sunwing, and Air Canada Rouge.
Well, one Bahamian actor turned filmmaker is getting set to debut his first movie this month. Tony McCartney will premiere This Life, a movie about a group of friends involved in the drug trade. The movie, he said, shows some reflection of life as some people know it in Nassau.
I'm Robert Campbell, the lead character that I play. The story starts with when he loses his job and he's stuck with still taking care of a single mother. She's blind for life. So he's put in this precarious position. What am I going to do? How am I going to take care of my mother? And so that's when Ricardo Chase comes along and it all goes haywire from there.
There aren't that many Bahamian filmmakers around, and as an actor, instead of just waiting for another acting gig, he decided to create his own opportunity.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that to the forefront. I wanted to bring the drug culture, the impact the drug culture has on the country. It's something that's not been highlighted very often, but I wanted to bring that reality. And I also wanted to get deep into this psychoanalysis of how deep are people willing to go to take care of their responsibilities? What are you willing to do for money?
The premiere is a red carpet event August 11th at Galleria Cinemas JFK. Here's what McCartney hopes to see come out of all this.
I've been an actor for about 13 years now, and 2 years ago, something just happened to me. I went to a film festival. I was nominated for a film. First time in America. I was in Miami, Florida, and we went to this film festival. And we were nominated. We didn't win anything. I came back home, and my career just stopped. And I was like, what's going on? There was no jobs coming in. I had the script sitting up for 10 years. I'm like, what can I do to get myself back into the environment? And I just dusted the script off. I finally got some money together and started my own company, T-Mac Productions, and I just decided to do it myself. I'm tired of sitting down just waiting for things to happen. I want this movie to I want to see the Bahamian film industry, firstly, come back to where it used to be. Because I'm kind of disappointed in the level of it. I know funding can be, a factor for a lot of people, but I miss those old days when I was booking jobs and there were so many other ideas coming out. And it seems to have shrunken. So I want to see the country get back up there. We can definitely do this. This is something that is doable. And for me, maybe finally get myself out there internationally. It's been difficult. I've been at it for 13 years. This is the only thing I haven't done yet. So I'm hoping maybe it's gonna, catch on internationally. This movie is definitely the best Bahamian movie you're going to see by far in recent years. Guarantee that.